Welcome back to Vuln Vibes, everybody, for another WP Safe block. Today, we're going to be looking into a very critical WordPress vulnerability,
Yeah.
and it's impacting a plugin that you've probably seen on a ton of websites.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the logo slider plugin, the one that kind of, just has all those logos, kind of just showcases all the website's clients, gives it that social proof.
Yeah. Yeah.
And today we're going to do a very quick deep dive into this vulnerability so you guys can get out there and take action right away.
Yeah.
So let's jump right into it. So the logo slider plugin versions up to and including 3.7.3 are vulnerable to something called arbitrary shortcode execution.
Right.
Now, I know our listeners are security savvy, so you probably know what that means, but
Yeah.
could you just give us like a plain terms explanation of that?
Yeah. So arbitrary shortcode execution basically means that the plugin doesn't really check what shortcodes it's running.
Mm-hmm.
So an attacker could basically slip in some malicious code into one of those shortcodes.
Right.
And, but
Into a legitimate function?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So it's almost like, you have like a gatekeeper and the shortcode is the key. And so they've basically just made a copy of the key and now they can walk right through the gate. They don't have to pick the lock or anything like that.
Oh, wow. Okay. So
Yeah.
can you give us some examples of what a real world attack would look like with this vulnerability?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the biggest thing is like they could inject malicious code right into a website
Okay.
that's running this plugin. And with that code, they could do all sorts of nasty stuff. Like they could steal data from visitors. They could redirect visitors to other malicious websites.
Right.
Deface the site. I mean, it's really pretty bad.
And so that brings us to the implications of this. I
Yeah.
mean, we've been talking about data theft, redirecting defacement.
Yeah.
But for website owners, what's the long-term damage here? Like, what if someone's data gets leaked?
Oh, man, that's a nightmare scenario, right? Because you have to think about legal repercussions.
Yeah.
You have to think about the damage to your reputation, which takes forever to rebuild.
Mm-hmm.
And, you have to clean up the mess. It's just,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a huge,
Well, the loss of trust from customers is...
totally. And the financial
Yeah.
fallout, too.
Yeah.
It could bankrupt you.
Yeah, it could be devastating.
Absolutely.
And I think what makes this even more alarming is you don't even need authentication to exploit this flaw.
Nope. No authentication needed.
It's literally like leaving your front door open.
Yeah. You're just asking for trouble.
So what can people do? I mean, obviously updates are crucial, but like, what are some general best practices people should be thinking about in terms of plugin security?
Okay, so, updates are huge, like you said. Definitely make sure you're updating regularly. But, I think it really comes down to vigilance.
Right.
Like, don't just install a plugin and forget about it.
Yeah.
Really scrutinize the permissions that a plugin is asking for. What does it really need to access? And also think about, where you're getting it from. Is this a reputable developer? Or, is this some fly-by-night operation that, might be putting malicious code in their plugins?
So really doing that due diligence beforehand.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's really simple stuff, but it can make all the difference.
Yeah. It's like anything in security, it's awareness and proactivity.
Exactly.
Okay. So just to recap.
Yeah.
We've got a very popular plugin with a very critical vulnerability that can be exploited with no authentication.
Right.
And can lead to a whole host of problems.
Yeah.
The good news is there is a patch available. Just update to version 3.7.4 or later.
Absolutely.
But I think, we can expand this even further and just see that this is one example. But any plugin you install, even if it seems really basic, could have security risks.
Totally.
So, really got to stay informed, stay vigilant, and never underestimate, having a really robust security posture.
Couldn't say it better myself.
All right. Thanks for joining us today.
It was a pleasure.
And we'll see you next time on Mullen Vibes.
See ya.
Bye.